All right, this is Ecclesiasticus 42:12. Behold not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. For from garments cometh a moth, and from women wickedness. All right, you got a lot of jakes that was raised by their moms. They sit among their aunts and moms and cousin women and all this and that. You're not supposed to do that, according to the scriptures. All right. Better is the churlishness of a man than a courteous woman. A woman, I say, which bringeth shame and reproach. All right. Now let's go to Ecclesiasticus 25 real quick and 13. Now, like I said, this ain't women bashing. This is the scriptures. This is for the young men to be on the lookout when they dealing with women. But we're going to go back to how the young man is supposed to treat their women, regardless if you're going to take a woman to wife. Okay? Like I said, sisters, if you don't want to hear the scriptures, turn the video off. But this is for the young men, all right, like myself and brothers listening to get these scriptures. Ecclesiasticus 25 and 13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. All right, because the wickedness of a woman is going to bring that plague of the heart, man. If you ever had your heart broken, or if you ever arguing with your woman that you really care about, if you arguing with her or whatever, you're never really gonna be in a worse mood than that when you and your woman arguing over something stupid, more than likely. All right, if your woman ain't acting right, she says she gonna leave and not come back or whatever. It ain't too many worse feelings than that, man. That's why he said, give me any plague but the plague of the heart. Scripture says this: and any affliction but the affliction from them that hate me, and any revenge but the revenge of my enemies. There is no head above the head of a serpent, and there is no wrath above the wrath of the enemy. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. That's why you got a lot of women, man. You ride up on them or you walk up on them, man. They look like demons in the face, man, because they so proud and haughty, man. But a humble woman, man, she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? A beautiful, prideful, haughty woman, she might be a 10-piece, but she can come down to about a 7 because of her haughty look, man. But a humble woman or a quiet woman, where she might be only like an 8, it might bring her up to like a 9. You know what I'm saying? On the rating scale I'm talking about. Scripture says this, verse 18. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. A wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. Of a woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. Now, obviously, Sirach was going by the law of Moses, but Yahushua came later and corrected that notion. All right. Now let's go back to Corinthians 7, and we're gonna end this little study here. Chapter 7. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every wife have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife have not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. But I speak this by permission and not of commandment. And Paul is going to tell you why he said that later on in a second. For I would that all men were even as myself. Paul didn't have no woman. But every man have not hath his proper gift of God, one after this manner, and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I, meaning don't marry. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. All right, so but if you can stand being without or being single, do that. But if you killing yourself, or you about to jump out the window because you haven't had a man or a woman, then go ahead and get you one. All right, scripture says this. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. But to the rest speak I not the Lord, but to the rest, see that? Because the Lord commanded that right there. But now Paul's going to say, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. All right, Paul was saying, this is what I think. All right. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. And if the woman which have an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. All right, so you might have a woman that believes in the Most High power in the Bible, but the man can't get into it. But the man say, well, baby, I don't want to break up. Paul is saying that you should stay with him. And this is the reason why. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but God has called us to peace. For what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband? Or how knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife? All right, so if your wife don't believe, how do you don't know if she's going to be saved or not, so it's better to just stay with her for that peace. All right, because we're called unto peace. Now let's go to let's read 40. Matter of fact, let's go to verse 27, and we're going to read to 40 real quick, and then we're going to close it out. Scripture says this: Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. All right, so if you got a wife, don't seek to divorce her. And if you